Local attorney Frank White came up with the idea of a charitable hospital in 1908 and began seeking donations from residents, neighboring towns, and area farmers. In 1909, local farmer Charles Hussey had a very ill 6-year-old. The child suffered from a prolonged ear infection and had 2 mastoid operations. The child had to undergo a 3rd operation and was one of only 7 children to be treated in the state of Maine to recover. Following his son's recovery, Charles Hussey became a big proponent of the hospital and assisted Frank White in raising $2,500, equivalent to today is $58,000. In 1911, a partially completed house on 2nd Street was purchased from Milton Hicks to be used as the first public hospital. The wooden house was white and 3 stories in height. It was enlarged to accommodate 16 to 20 patients. The Presque Isle General Hospital was officially incorporated on April 8, 1912. With the population still growing, the need for hospital care grew accordingly. It soon became necessary to either expand the existing hospital or build a new facility. In March of 1917, the property next door, owned by C.H. Smith, was purchased. The hospital board voted on June 18, 1919, to build a new brick hospital on that site. A capital campaign to raise $40,000 was undertaken, equivalent to $500,000 today. In 1919, construction on the new brick hospital was begun. The structure, completed in late 1920, had 32 patient rooms and accommodated 50 patients. The dedication took place on January 7, 1921. In the basement, there were 2 storerooms, a crude lab, a steam heating plant, a coal room and ash hoist, an x-ray room, a kitchen, 2 dining rooms, 1 for the workers and 1 for the nurses, a 2,300-pound capacity refrigerator, and a treatment room for minor injuries. On the 1st floor, it was the men's ward, the ladies' ward, the children's ward, 1 private room, a food serving room, a refrigerator, 2 toilets with a bath in between, patient lockers, janitorial closets, reception room, superintendent's office, physician's consulting room, restroom facilities for the physicians and nurses, a hopper room, and a laundry chute. On the 2nd floor, there are 12 private rooms. The 3rd floor had 2 private rooms, 2 semi-private rooms, an operating room, an ether room, a doctor's dressing room, nurse's workroom, and maternity ward. Each floor had a nurse's station with a call system and a medicine cabinet. The building also had an elevator. The cost of a private room would be $4.50 for a room with 1 window, $5 for 2 windows. A room in the ward rates would be $2.50 per bed and $3 for a 4-bed, and a semi-private room would be $3.50. The former hospital next door was remodeled to be used as a residence for nurses and classrooms for nurses. 2 nursing training classes were given each year, 1 in the fall and 1 in the spring, with both classes graduating together at the completion of all the training. The training facilities were continued until 1935, when closed for lack of funds. There was a tunnel underground connecting the 2 buildings. By 1952, overcrowding was a huge issue at the hospital. Trustees began a plan to construct a new wing at the rear of the building. When the committee learned that federal grant funds could not be allocated for building a new wing on an existing building, the trustees then recommended building a new facility on a new site. By the middle of 1955, a consultant's report recommended that a new facility be built on the edge of the city for an estimated cost of $1.2 million. A 30-acre farm owned by Fred Deaves on the eastern end of Academy Street was chosen as the site for the new facility. Groundbreaking took place in April of 1958, with the completed 80-bed facility being dedicated on January 9, 1960. The patients were moved from the 2nd Street location on February 16, 1960, beginning at 9 o'clock a.m. 37 patients were moved by 9:50 a.m., including a woman in labor who delivered shortly after arrival at the new facility.